Recently, I've introduced House Bill 2212. It is a bill that's designed to help our local pharmacies. There's been an issue with reimbursement rates to local independent pharmacies. I've been in contact with several pharmacies throughout Carbon County that are struggling to keep their doors open because these reimbursement rates for the medications that they're prescribing are sometimes coming through at less of a rate than what it actually costs to prescribe to fill those prescriptions. It's becoming a big issue, and as we know, we rely heavily on our local pharmacies and our independent pharmacies to provide that service in the community. Residents in Carbon County, if they can't go to their independent pharmacy, will sometimes have to drive 45 minutes to an hour or use a mail order pharmacy, which sometimes can take up to 3 to 7 days to get your prescriptions filled when you need them right away. So the MCOs, the managed care organizations, contract with the PBMs, or prescription benefit managers, and there's 3 PBMs that pretty much operate in the state of Pennsylvania, and they control the reimbursement rates to the pharmacies for the prescriptions. One of those in particular has been reimbursing at a lesser rate. So it's been happening in other states. We've seen the cases in Arkansas and Ohio where the Attorney General had to get involved, and what we're doing is putting forth legislation right now to correct that, to ensure that the reimbursements that's going to your independent pharmacies is going to be the same as it's going to, like, say, a CVS pharmacy. So we have legislation to correct that, and why that's important is because these are tax dollars, and if they're not going to pay for these for the prescriptions at a fair rate, somebody's wind up putting that money in their pocket, and at the same time, our local pharmacies are not going to be able to keep their doors open. So this is an important piece of legislation. It is a companion piece to House Bill 2211, which is Representative Judy Ward, and what that does is it removes the gag order. Right now, there's a clause in these contracts that does not allow pharmacists to talk to patients when they come in to fill a script. They may be able to fill that script and pay less money for it. If they have, say, a $40 or $50 copay, they might be able to get a generic drug or fill that script with something else that could be, maybe $20 out of pocket. And right now there's a gag order in effect. So we want to make sure that residents and patients throughout Carbon County and rural Pennsylvania are going to have access to their independent pharmacies, and that those pharmacists are going to be able to communicate with those patients coming in to get those prescriptions filled as to whether or not they could save money or not. So this is common sense legislation. It's bipartisan. We've had the support of many Democrats and Republicans on this, and this is good legislation for the folks throughout the state of Pennsylvania and Carbon County. I would ask the Attorney General's office and also the Auditor General's office to get involved and investigate this practice. That's what has happened in other states. In the meantime, we're also going to move forward on the legislative front to address it as well.